from correlated subquery. Now, we have a couple more operators we call exist and not exist. Now, if in the subquery we're using the word exist, if it's true, it's going to return the row. If it is false, it passes the row and go to the next row. Let's go to an example so you understand better. I would like to select employee ID, last name, job ID, department ID from a table, we call it employee, where the manager ID right here supposed to matching with the employee ID from my employee table. So you're going to see again we're using the correlated, look like the correlated, but right here, if exist result is true, it means this manager ID from employee table matching with this manager ID from employee table, then with this employee ID from the employee table, the condition is true and exist is true. This X could be anything. This X could be any column. So this is really the concern is not right here. What is going to return the value or what is the value right here? The concern is this condition that the manager ID from a subquery matching with the employee ID from employee table. So manager ID from this table matching with the employee ID from this table. If this condition is true, it's going to return the row. As I said, it really doesn't matter what is the value of that you put right here. You may put in any column that you want. So you not have to put in a specifically, let me go ahead, run two examples. Let me put this one right here and also running the same example so you can see this example that I ran, and this is the same query that already we have. Excuse me. Let me do one example. Let me change this one. For example, select manager ID. Now I'm going to replace this one with the what? Manager ID. And I'm going to run my query. And again, it goes running. So really, it is not important what I put right here. The important is this comparison clause, that when we comparing the manager ID with the employee ID from the first table or parent query. So this we name this one parent query. This is the subquery. So this one is also, we call it using exist. So the whole point is this one, when you're going to run this query, you're going to return some value, true or false. If it's true, exist is true. If it's false, the exist is false. Now, whatever I compare and find it right here, I can put right here and not exist. Here is the example. I can put a not exist and reversing all the employee, which the employee department ID does not match with the employee ID. So it's the same concept, but in a state of exist, I'm using non-exist. So it is another example of the subquery. So we spoke the correlated subquery with Oracle version 10. They're adding a new feature, and this new feature updating a table by using the correlated subquery. So we may using the correlated subquery to update another. Use the correlated subquery to update row in one table based on the row from another table. Let's look at the example. Let's consider that we have a table employee 16. Employee 16, what you're going to do, you're going to say create a table employee 16 as select asterisk from the employee table. So we're adding a temporary table, we call it employee 16, and already I did this one, describe employee 16. And you're going to see that the employee 16 is exactly same as employee table. But what we did, we adding a new column, we name it department name. And we name it department name, which is varchar 25. So we're altering that table and the employee table, and we're adding the department name. As you see right here, I added a department name, right here, varchar 25. So from right here to right here, it is employee table, and we're adding a new column. Now, we would like to update this table, this department name, with the value that we selecting from department name from department table. So adding a column of department table to or what? Employee table or employee EMP16. So let me show you this example. Let me see. Let's go to the third example. And this is the example that I have it right here. As I said again, because this employee ID matching with department ID, it may return multiple row. What I did, I added a word and row less than 2, so be sure that this subquery right here, it only return one row for any department name. So it does not return multiple row. If it return multiple row, it cannot adding multiple row, updating multiple column for department name. And here is this example. I'm going to run this example also. And you're going to see 50 row table updated and the whole department name updated with the existing department name from the department table. Let's go to the next. So the same concept that if we can use the correlated update, we can use the correlated delete to go ahead and delete a column from a table, a column from a table. Use the correlated subquery to delete the row in one table based on the row from another table. And it is same example, same format, only in a state of the update is delete. So I'm not going to run this exercise to save time. And finally, we come up with the new clause, and this is a little bit confusing. The with clause. Well, Oracle for improving, let's say, let me start some other way. Let's go look at right here. Let's consider Oracle talk about this concept that if a subquery occur more than once within a complex query, and you have to recreate that subquery and recreate that subquery, using the with clause improve the performance, because evaluating a clause once, even if it is appear multiple times in the subquery, and as a result, it's going to improve the performance. Now, this improved performance causes a little bit difficulty because the subquery get a little bit with clause getting confusing. Let me use this example. Let's see which example I should use is better. Let's look at this example right here. I hope that let me change the font to 125 so you all see that one better. Okay. Now, when I'm going to write the subquery, I'm going to start with the with department cost as, with department cost as. And you notice right here, this is a subquery that I have right here. This is a subquery right here I have. But I'm going to use this department cost inside this average cost. And this average cost, which is again a subquery, I'm going to use it where? In my select statement in the table. So when I'm going to do, let's go ahead like this one. Select asterisk from department cost, where the total greater than select department average from average cost. Wow, I have to calculate the average cost. But here is the subquery in average cost. This is the average cost right here, the subquery. Now, the average cost, when I attempting to evaluate the average cost, this average cost depends on the department cost. And department cost is another subquery, which is what? Right here. So, to run this query, I'm going to use two subquery. One of them average cost. To run this query, I'm going to using from a table, which is that table is a view. And this average cost is another view, which is depend on the another view, which is department cost. So let's look at and go ahead and run this funny with clause and show you an example of it, which is workable. And as a result, you're going to see the department name is research and total is this amount. And if I'm not making mistake, the with clause, your book have the with clause right here. This is the way that your book explain it. And I think, yeah, I'm going to using the same example that probably mine, the way that I presented is much more makes sense than the one that you're going to see in your book. And if I'm not making mistake, that's it.